Okay, real quick. I'm gonna cut this in before the video plays. It's gonna be the second video down. You see the PTSD vet soldier rant. So basically, what's in it is talking about PTSD, and then I believe I also touch on like the cost of living, and it's primarily those two things, and also included in it is like a detailed psychological analysis of kind of the differences in space in battle, and what that means and what it does. I don't really want to give it away because I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just getting at there. It's mostly about combat and PTSD, and then there's a little rants tied in about cost of living. Like I said, I know I just said that, but that's just a heads up on what it's gonna be. All right, enjoy, like, subscribe. We're on our way to 100 million.
Type of enemy, and you had to kill them. They would not surrender them. That was true. However, on Peleliu, they said that this should be over. It would be fierce fighting for about 72 hours. We should have the island secured by then. But it got a lot of ordnance dropped on it before we landed. There was a lot of pre-landing preparation fire, naval gunfire, strafing, and so forth. But I don't think they killed one single Japanese. They were all in the caves that they had dug. So they were pretty much at full strength when we came in. We would use bazookas, we would use flame-throwing tanks, and we'd have to get up to the mouth of the cave. And
Isn't it crazy that always the old dudes, like, none of them are fucked up about shit, though? Isn't that weird? I think it's just because you're in such a different state of mind when you get that old. Like, and life is so finite, because you know that it's like, I didn't even think I would live this long. You just get to such an acceptance piece of what life is and what you've lived. You know what I mean? All the fucking old dudes, Vietnam and World War II, none of them are fucked up. If they are, though, they're not like hindered by it, though, versus like you talk to dudes right now anywhere from 20 to like 50 that have seen some shit and stuff. They're like fucked up, though. You know what I mean? And I'm sure these dudes, when they came home and they were 20, were fucked up too, and they never interview that. That'd be a question I have, is like, listen, when you came back, did you have bad PTSD? You were fucked up, weren't you? Like, I'm sure they all were, but it's weird that it's like once they get so old, they're over it. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure all these fucking dudes that are 90 and 100, when they were 20, 23, and they come back and they just killed fucking 30 people, their buddies got murdered in front of all that shit, they were fucked up too. You know what I mean? It's just crazy that it's like none of them get to that age and they're still like carrying the burden of PTSD. Like, truly. Like, you can see when it's a dude 20, 30, 40, 50, like, you can see he's carrying it, based on it's just whatever. And these dudes that are like 85, 90, 100, Vietnam, World War II dudes, are all just kind of like, they're so straightforward with the stories and stuff, and it's as if, yeah, they've outgrown the damnation of the PTSD. It's like all of them appear like that. But yeah, it makes me think, I know they all went through that, though, where they were that 20 or 30-year-old who were carrying it, where they were fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that they didn't have that. It's just, yeah, it's weird that it's like, yeah, eventually, if you live long enough, you don't carry shit anymore because nothing's worth it, because life's so finite. You know what I mean? And you truly see that when you're 92 years old. You're like, I'm not fucking waking up and dragging my head at the floor carrying all this weight. I don't have much time left to be alive. I'm just gonna appreciate the fucking sun's out, and if some people want to be nice and have conversation with me, then I'm gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna be in the moment. Like, I think you let shit go once you get old. You know what I mean? You don't have time for it. to sit there and be fucked up, versus when you're 25 and you just got back and stuff. Yeah, you got time to start drinking alcohol and crying at night and staring at the floor and fucking hate the world. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they all did it too. But yeah, it's something I realized. These dudes always tell their war stories, and it's like they're more, and they don't carry it though. It's not a fucking burden. As if, like, when you're young, when it's raw, when life's just different, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's interesting. I think that's what it is. Yeah, you just get so old that you're like, you don't hold on to shit, you know what I mean? And it's easy to, when you're young, to hold on to rage, hold on to bitterness, hold on to hatred, hold on to fuck that person and all that shit. And I think once you get so old, you're like, I'm not holding on to none of that shit. I'm good, bro. I'm good. That's how they all appear to me, that they have all the stories, and I know they lived with the trauma and shit of it when they were younger. But it's like, yeah, if you live long enough, you don't carry burden like that anymore. It just, for whatever reason, it does not fucking damn you the same. It's weird. It's weird, because I get that same feeling when I watch all the old dudes. Versus you watch, you know, dudes who are in the age of the fight of your life, you know, 20 to 60. And that you can see that they have, I'm holding on to shit. You know what I mean? And I'm fucking mad and all that shit.
Maybe put some fire in there from a flamethrower.
Yeah, these motherfuckers just talk about, yeah, you know, I had a flamethrower and I fucking burned 20 of them to death, and boy, I never heard grown men scream like that in my life, and, you know, it was a tough time. And it's like they're not damned by it. Versus like when he came home in his 20s and was telling the story, he wasn't sleeping at night. He was thinking of hearing those dudes scream like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? It's crazy that, like, that all of that shit, it like doesn't do that to you though when you're at the end. I don't see dudes tell stories like this and they're telling it from a place of like, I'm carrying this terrible burden, like when you're younger.
Or shoot some 75s in there if we had a tank, if we were working on a tank infantry team. It was just savage fighting, I would say. And now some of those caves had some.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for dudes that are fresher, that are stuck in their PTSD from whatever bullshit for the wars and stuff that they go through. It's like, bro, just go watch the old dudes, like, in their stories and stuff. You know what I mean? Connect with them. They'll be able to understand where you were at anyway. They were like, dude, when I came home, yeah, I couldn't sleep and shit like that. But like what you're going to be able to see and take is, if I live long enough and I XYZ, one day I'm going to be able to be him in terms of talking to a younger dude and trying to tell him, it's going to be okay. You're gonna not carry this to the end. Unless you let it carry you to the end by your own reckless doings. You know what I mean? You're fucking just angry and you're crazy out there and you're fucking drinking and you kill yourself at 40 drinking and driving or whatever. You know what I mean? There's still parameters, but it's like, you're not going to become an old man and feel all this hatred and bitterness and PTSD that you do right now. It's just so raw right now. That's why it's so heavy. But once you are in life long enough, you'll be like them, bro. But yeah, I don't look at all those old dudes and think that they bypassed all that PTSD and that wasn't hard for them. Fuck no. You know what I mean? Not a chance. It's just, yeah, they all, once they're certain old, none of them carry it like that. But that doesn't mean I think any of them were exempt from it. It's impossible, dude. It's fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be fucked up. There's no way around it. It's just harder on some dudes than others. Some dudes kill themselves over it. Some dudes drink themselves to death. You know what I mean? All that shit. But yeah, in the end, if you don't let it fully consume you, eventually you will be free from it. And if you don't believe me, look at all the fucking old dudes. None of these dudes are bound by that shit. As they probably once were. Because it's fucked up shit.
In there and on angles. So
yeah, that's like the takeaway I've made through watching, when I just watch the old dudes talk about shit.
They could turn around in the L, if you will. There was no doubt.
And that's not to say they're void of emotion either. You know, I've heard a dude tell a story and he'll get a little choked up here and there. But I'm telling you, he's not pacing around his living room with his fist clenched, fucking getting ready to punch holes in the drywall. Like, you don't, it's over, bro. I'm not saying you won't connect with it and have an emotional, you know, memory and shit, because I see that too, but they don't carry it the same, bro. It doesn't do that to you anymore. So it's just something to look forward to if you're consumed by, I'm all fucked up, this PTSD, son of a fucking bitch. It's like, bro, all the old dudes don't carry it like that. And all of them had it, just like you did. Don't think that they fucking just didn't have it. There's no way. There is always one weird dude who just has good, he's kind of psychotic, but he's a good, you know what I mean? And I'm being serious. Where like the fucked up shit was more exhilarating to him than damning. Like, and it's just what it is. That doesn't mean he's going and killing people and families and shit. But some dudes, when you expose them to extreme violence and stuff, it's very adrenaline, thrilling, and they have a little bit of a psychotic connection in their tendency naturally, that it doesn't do that to them to the degree it does for a dude who's very reserved, you know, very sheltered. You put him out there, you know what I mean? It's going to fuck him up more. Versus a dude who's grew up, you know, and he's been around guns and he's been in fist fights and he likes to drink. You put him out in battle, he's not going to probably be as fucked up. And then that's not always the case, because some dudes think they're that dude. And then they get in that shit and it destroys them because it's too much. You know what I mean? They thought that they would be into it. Or they would be, you know, experience it in a tough guy way. And it's like, it's just the way the world is. And you find out that it's like, there's dudes who find out, it's like, this shit is barbaric. It has fucking ruined me. You know what I mean? I believe that happens to dudes. But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. For the dudes who don't truly, like, experience all of the disconnect, the PTSD, it's just fucking hard on me, fucked up shit. It's just they have more of a psychotic tendency in the wiring, but they're not, you know, they're not fucking Dennis Rader or nothing like that. It's just dudes experience violence differently. You know what I mean? Some dudes are fucking, this is sweet to a degree. Some dudes are like, this is fucking terrible, but I have to do it. Some dudes are like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. But the bulk majority of dudes, like all of the dudes in World War II, Vietnam, World War I, are very shaken, and they're very, very emotionally disturbed afterwards. Just because of how we are. You know what I mean? That's very common. And then, like I said, for the dude who's not fucked up by all of that, it's just because he's got a few psychotic tendencies in the wiring, where he's very exhilarated by that level of violence and stuff. And no, that doesn't mean he's a psycho killer. It's just our wirings are different and shit, man. You know what I mean? And it's true to me. The dude who came home and he just, like, really didn't go through years of, like, I can't sleep right. You know what I'm fucking angry. You know what I mean? All that. It's just because he's got a few connections with psychotic tendencies in his wiring. That's it. You know what I mean? And most dudes don't have that. Most dudes are going to be, I can't sleep. This is hard on me. There's a lot of fucked up shit I saw. Fucking my buddy's dying. Like, it's going to fuck you up. But what I'm saying is, so just looking at the average and then how all the old men story tell and they don't carry it is like, it's going to be you like that too. You know what I mean? But don't think none of those dudes, all those dudes were fucked up too. You know what I mean? Especially World War I, II, Vietnam. shit was just in closer proximity. There's more foot soldiers. There's more up close personal murdering, all of that shit. You know what I mean? Versus like today, you're not getting a ton of very up close and personal fucking, bro, hundreds of us went at it. And we're all like, you're so separated by the advancement in our weapons. You know what I mean? You're killing people from more of a distance than ever. And it's just our advancements in weapons. But you know what I mean? World War I, there's a ton of dudes who, up close and personal, experience a lot of you're really in a murderous experience because dudes are dying within arm's reaches of you. And even being like melee, fucking throat slit and shit. It's a different level versus like the dudes today. A lot of it is distance, bro, with guns, with the weaponry. Dudes get fucked up now mostly with a personal, like, close combat experience. It's usually an IED. You know, fucking 5 of us walked over here, a fucking IED blew up, 3 of my buddies went in 100 fucking pieces, and me and my other friend lost both our fucking arms. I'm fucked. You know what I mean? That's the, like, closeness, really, that's happening on an average war front today versus World War I, when motherfuckers are coming by fucking boatloads running up the fucking beach to thousands of other dudes, and you're just all fucking, let's go. You know what I mean? Combat over time distances itself further and further. Just like if you go back to the Vikings. Motherfucking Vikings rolling on a ship, they're killing all of you with fucking, you know, axes and cleavers. It's fucking savage. You know what I mean? Before them, caveman. I grab stone, you grab stone, I smash your fucking head in. And war and combat through advancements becomes more and more distant. So, you know what I mean? You introduce the bow and arrow, you introduce the rifle. Now guys can space out. It's not, we come in here and if you got 20 dudes, all of you are getting your fucking heads chopped off by our fucking axes. That's fucking beast mode. That's a different level than we fucking run up to your village and we got fucking AKs and we mow all of you down. Which one's more fucking beast mode? Yeah, probably if you and your buddy walk in and kill all 20 people, cutting their heads off with fucking axes. You understand? And that's gonna, again, be more of a damning long-term effect on the average dude than we came in with AKs and mowed all these dudes down. Like, because it's a different level when you fucking cutting dudes' fucking heads off. Like, it's savage. And that's what I'm saying. I think combat as a whole becomes less of a totality of burden just based on the space and distancing throughout time. You don't have to come up to someone and grab them by the throat and murder them with your hands. You can fucking go post in the woods a mile away and snipe the dude. That way, when you look up from the scope, you can't even see him. But all I know is I saw through a scope this little tiny human being, pulled trigger once. He looks like he went down. He's dead in my scope. I pull back from my gun. I can't even fucking see him. That's a way different level of a weight of murder than I had to come in here and cut this fucking dude's head off. Do you understand how those are very different killings? Very. So, and my point being is, World War I, II, Vietnam, these dudes, I think they were all subject to the shit any of the dudes in, you know, any of the Iraq, Afghanistan, all that shit today. All of them turn out fine. The majority of them all went through that too. And they experienced it on a more deeper level than what today's has to. Because you have more distance. And it does something different to the killing. It's still killing, I get that. But like I said, if I sent 6 army dudes in to take out 20 people in a village with AKs, and then I took those same 6 dudes and sent them in and said, everyone's head has to be fucking chopped off. Savage murders only. Go. The outcome of the damning effect on their mental state, based on those 2 examples, would be vastly different. Telling you.
And they would have an exit on the other side. of the hill. And we had someone get away, but someone was dying in the cave. So it was a pretty feral, savage kind of thing. The Japanese were great for their bonsai attacks, but they finally came to the conclusion
that was beast mode psychology breakdown shit. That's what I do. I should post this. Why not? It's cool. It's all my opinion. It's not like, anyways, I'm trying to be like, this is matter of a fact. This is just like, here's my opinion. This is what I think. I broke it down, and I stand on it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's what I really think.
that wasn't doing much good. We loved it.
But yeah, it's a great sign for all the dudes who go out and come back. And I'm not taking away that they're not exposed to shit and they're going to be fucked up too. Because they are. Plus, still, shit changes. You may see something that's savage. You may have to cut someone's head off. You may see your buddy's head get cut. Like, that's always going to still be a thing. It's just not to the degree at which it is. Distance has created a different level of combat. And it's through our advancements in weaponry. But also, yeah, for all the dudes who are like jaded and they're stuck with their fucked upness or whatever, it's like, bro, all the old dudes, it goes away, man. I'm telling you. I look at them. I can just tell how they talk, all of that. It goes away, man. You will not be fucking smashed by it. You'll always have some affliction. You'll always have some scarification from it. But you won't be you won't be defeated by it. As some days you may feel you are right now when you first come home and you have a ton of PTSD and you just feel defeated. You kind of want to kill yourself. You're confused. All that shit. Once you're older, you'll just be telling the stories and enjoying what life you have left, and you won't be defeated by it. Because I see all these dudes.
They did it because we could get rid of a lot of them, but they would assault from the front, and we were set up for the night with enfilade fire and crossfire, grazing fire, and we would get a lot of Japs. So they were not. So then they fought more of a defensive battle.
Combat's gonna look really weird in the next 50 years too, man. If there's somewhere I know they want to advance as fast as they fucking can, it is in warfare. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm surprised we don't have mechanically advantageous suits for dudes. Like Super Soldier, who's in like a legit body armor suit, who has all these technical abilities. I'm surprised. There's like dudes aren't already in shit like that. But I think their idea is we can control and justify our war to our population in our country so much more easy if we can just create soldier robots and they're not actually human beings. And that's when war is going to get really fucking dangerous. When you remove like, oh, you have to send humans, you can send robots. They're gonna fucking destroy this fucking planet. 100%. They can't handle it. When you can make it just robot armies, they're gonna fucking wreck this planet. Guaranteed, dude. And who knows where the fucking bomb technology will be at by the time, oh, we got 1 million robot soldiers we can deploy and put them on planes that fucking fly themselves and drop them off. This whole fucking place is gonna be a war zone. More so than it is now. You know what I mean? And there's fucking war everywhere, endlessly. And it's the way it is, dude. It's humans. Fighting for resources. Fighting for, we want the better country. We want the better lives. Fuck your people. It'll always be fucked up like that, though. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. So everyone was like, well, we need to be like this. It's like, if we're not what we are, someone will be what we are. So do you want to be what we are? Or let someone else be it and then we have to answer to them? Or do you want to be who fucking decides shit? Exactly. We're in that position. You can't ever give that up. What a waste. It would be, in history, the biggest fucking mistake ever made for us, America, to try to do some rainbow shit and allow us to become like 5th place in all of that shit, dude. Because the moment someone can pass us, they fucking will. You know what I mean? Nobody's sitting there. China and Russia aren't sitting there and they're like, you know what is great is America. We like that America considers itself number one, that they have the number one military, that they're the most prosperous country. We like that for them. Not a fucking chance. They're like, fuck them. And when we get our plan together, we're gonna take it over. I'm telling you. It's really what it is. People are very confused if they think any country, when it comes to the big power players, with us included, is sitting there rooting for us. Not a fucking chance, dude. Never. You think China wants to be fucking second to us in anything? Or Russia? Fuck no.
Probably knowing they were not going to win, but they...
And so it's like, you have to have show of force. You have to have grimy shit that's like... I brought an example. It's like, sometimes you don't want shit to be true that it is just because it's sad. And it's just, bro, it's what it is. And so it's like, you can't attempt to change that by just, you can't, dude. It does not work. When you're talking things of like war between countries, there will always be war. Till the end of time. Always. Resources. You know what I mean? Look how poor other countries are. Look how hard their people have to live. Do you want us to be them? Because someone has to be them. Do you want it to be us? Because we can just lay down. And it's like, some people, it's like they don't think. It's like, bro, if we're not who we are, nobody's letting us be who we are. We will be them. Who are the people who are just fucking railroaded. You want us to be them? You have to be who you are. You know what I mean? And to stay in a position like this, you have to maintain. We're not to be fucked with. Don't forget, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Because there's people right now, other countries, that are trying to craft a way for our failure. 100%. And you can't let them have it. So you have to stay connected to the idea of, bro, the way the world is and shit, in war, in all the grimy shit, it's sad, but it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It's what it is.
They fought a war of attrition, if you will, that made it as difficult as they could for us, thinking that we would not have the cojones, you might say, to continue fighting like this. But as the expression goes, they violated the rule of warfare, which is never underestimate the enemy.
Yeah, that's a statement I always utilize. Don't ever underestimate anyone. It's a fucking terrible mistake. Dudes do that in physical situations all the time. You know what I mean? And it's not even, oh, I misjudged him. It's, you completely underestimated him. And that's why you got ran over. You can look at him and make your judgment and be confident and like, oh, this dude, that. Oh, pfft. But don't just erase any and all doubt and underestimate him. That's how you get fucked up.
And that's what they did with us. They underestimated us. Get the 11th day of the battle. I took 44 Marines ashore. I came in on the first wave.
But yeah, we needed all these dudes. You know, and they did it. So, but yeah, so if our socially economical peak was 1960, at least our dudes from like World War II and Vietnam, like, they got to at least own their house and have the stay-at-home wife and kids. You know what I mean? Versus today, you're going and dying in the military and shit. You don't get shit out of it like you once did. Recognition, respect, fucking beautiful house that you can afford while your wife's at home making fucking dinner, watching the kids. You know what I mean? You used to be able to get that. Yeah, it's just different now, man. It makes no sense to me that life today, with all of our advancements, all of our just production ability and manufacturing growth, all of those things, our cost of living is a laughable joke compared to 1960. That makes absolutely no sense. The only logical thing is greed, where government and all that decided to say fuck everyone so we can create more wealth at the high end. That's the only logical thing, dude. You know what I mean? Because government was more associated for the people, and as they begin to start the finesse, which they always have, it just kept going and going and going and going. It's never been more corrupt than right now. It's never been more greedy than right now. You understand? And in like 1960, you're just more unified. I understand we had some like discrimination issues and all that, but just as a country's sake, it's just a different world. You know what I mean? Fuck, dude, you ask people today about, you know, how do you feel about America? Motherfuckers shit right on it that live here. Oh, I fucking hate Trump. This country sucks and stuff. It's like, you son of a bitch. But yeah, it's bad though. I just think of that right there alone. The fact middle and low class society has never been more expensive to live. It's never been harder to buy a home. All of that shit. It's like, dude, what the fuck happened? And it's like whatever corrupt shit at the top goes on in terms of money and fucking middle and low class over, garners them the most, so that's what they've done the most. And that door got popped open when it began, and just president after president after president push, and they just fucking pushed it wide open. And here we are with the highest cost of living fucking in history. And it's like, if you took into account our production in 1960 and all of the factories and all of the products we did make here and things of that nature, we would blow them out of the fucking water. Just based on, dude, I can turn a machine on in 2026 that does the same shit that the one in 1960 did, and that thing runs fucking 15-fold what that can in 4 hours. And it's like that everywhere. And it's like, but middle and low class, it's never been more expensive to live and harder to buy a house. Somebody needs to start answering shit. And they don't have to. They just make shit up, bro, and send you out in left field. Well, it's because of our trading with this, and then because of, it's all fucking delusional, fucking made up fucking smoke screens, dude. It's like, no, son of a bitch. That you motherfuckers are doing shit that's corrupt, that's grimy. It should be, it's never been cheaper to exist in middle and low class. It's never been a better time to buy a home. And you go back to peaks 1960, that narrative has never shown its face again. How is that possible? Because they're doing shit, dude. With greed, with money. And I think it's enriching the floating of the insulation of what's elite, what's wealthy. They continue to fucking just stack bricks on that by dropping bricks on middle and low class head. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Nothing any dude gets up at the podium and tries to say about, oh, you know, fucking stock market, it's all a smoke screen, dude. I don't believe a fucking word of it. Now, I can't also tell you exactly what they've been doing since 1960 for us to get fucked since then, but it's clearly not the right thing. I mean, what business model, I've already said this, no business in the world would still exist with the government's cost of living model that we've had since 60, and all it's done is this, fucking plummet for 66 years. Every business in the history of fucking businesses would have been out of business in 1970. But not the government. Not the government and the fucking cost of living. That makes no sense. That's corrupt fuckery. There's nothing anyone can say.
I got hit the 11th day of the battle. I had about 10 of my 44 left. So then I went out to the hospital ship relief. I went to the hospital in New Caledonia. I was there for a couple of months. I came back to the battalion, and they were staging then for Okinawa. Well, we landed on the Easter Sunday, which was April 1st that year. I was executive officer of A5. Company commander got hit in the last battle. He got about 6 bullets through his spine. He never walked again. So I took the company. He tried to get up. It was a Hill 69, we call it, and he tried to get up there a couple times, and he had to withdraw and regroup. He did the same thing twice, and it didn't work. So when I got it, I went out and I made a reconnaissance. I managed to get up near the hill to look it over, and I decided they were reinforcing the objective through a cave system that was surrounding it. So I came up with a little different plan. We worked all the area around there, all the caves around there, the whole area. We smoked them out or burned them out of the caves. And after I did that, we walked right up the hill, took the objective.
Anybody surrender?
No. That was the last battle on Okinawa. And we were staging to go to Japan, and we were going to land on the island of Kyushu. I saw the relief map where I was going to take a company, but then when the bomb was dropped, and that was the end of the war. It was a great celebration, and for some reason we found some sick bay alcohol and put a little bit of that in some fruit juice, canned fruit juice, and we had a party.
Yep. They got done with that. They found the fucking alcohol and had their drinks. Alright, I might keep that. That was a fun rant, but alright.